Hello, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Audrey Lassane, and if this is your first time joining me, let me introduce myself. I am a mompreneur, but I also teach females, specifically moms, how they can build profitable and sustainable 6 and 7 figure e commerce brands by leveraging the power of social media. And so today I wanted to shoot this quick video because several people have given me so many excuses as to why they're unable to start an online business. It's too expensive. I don't have the skills. You name it, I've heard it. So I wanted to put together a very simple outline for those of you who may be interested in starting your own online business and giving you an idea of one business solution that you can tap into on a very small shoestring budget. Okay, so as you can see from the title here, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why anyone can start a t shirt brand on a shoestring budget. Okay, the first reason is you don't have to have experience. Now, this is great news because typically, we're not born with intrinsic skills and abilities. People may have a certain talent, that they may receive genetically, but for the most part, average everyday folk, we don't have these professional skills. We're not necessarily born with them, which means then that it's something that we have to learn. And, we learn and we apply it, okay? And then from there, we're able to monetize. And so that's the important part. It's learning it and doing it, okay? And so fortunately for us, we live in a world, in a society that if we don't know something, there are so many resources at our disposal. There's the internet. We're able to go out on YouTube University. We're able to, purchase trainings. We're able to tap into, all sorts of resources. Google is truly your best friend when it comes to receiving insight and knowledge on a certain topic that we may not be familiar with. So if you feel like, you know, it requires a certain type of experience or a certain type of skill and you don't have it, don't fret. Because in order for you to launch a profitable t shirt business, you don't need it. In fact, when I first started in the industry, I didn't have any experience either. And so I had to learn it. And so I learned it and I've been able to generate, 7 figures, selling t-shirts online. So again, don't let that be a deterrent. Okay, another myth that I'm dispelling is you don't need to have any designer skills. Okay, so many people say, oh, well, I don't know how to create images or I don't know how to create artwork or, whatever. Let me just let you know you don't need that. Okay, that's absolutely not necessary in order for you to start your t shirt business today. So, again, because we live in a world where there's information all around us, and there's resources all around us, there's certain things that we can tap into to get what we need, right? So one of those things that we can tap into is a creative marketplace, where we can purchase images and designs and graphics that we can, literally put right onto a t-shirt or a mug or, whatever. We also can utilize services like Fiverr or Upwork or freelancer.com where there are actually professionals, people that have an education and or a background in graphic design, and they are able to create these designs for us. So again, what we don't have, there's someone out there who has that skill. So again, we don't want to allow that to be a deterrent. Okay, so we've already identified that A, we don't have to have experience, and B, we don't need to have any graphic design skills in order to start a t-shirt business today. The third point is you don't need an original or Shark Tank idea. Okay. So now this is one of those times where it doesn't serve you to be original. You can see what's out there and model, not copy, but model the success that you see in others. Also, think about it. If you have a passion and interest, you can tap into that. So, for instance, if you love cats or you love dogs or you're a nurse or you are a police officer, you are well versed and you understand that audience, right? Because you're a part of it. So now what you could do is take that passion, that interest, and you can monetize it by creating t-shirts for that audience, t-shirts that you would wear. Okay? So the most important part is, find that audience, find that tribe, find that culture, and serve them. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean creating something brand new, something that no one has ever seen before. Look at some of the bigger brands and some of the things that they're doing. You don't have to compete with them, but you're able to model what they're doing, and you can apply it to a more defined niched audience. All right, so the fourth point is you don't have to have tons of money. Now, listen, this is really, really important because lots of people feel like, their resources are limited and, they're stuck. They don't have a way to create this online business because it's just going to require so much more than what they actually have. So I'm here to bust that myth as well. Okay. Now, if you're opening up a brick and mortar business, for instance, like some of the bigger brands, yes, that has a hefty upfront payment and financial obligation on a daily and monthly basis. But the beauty with having an online business is that if you have a computer, if you have a tablet, if you have a cell phone, and Wi-Fi, you can virtually start this business with less than $100. So here, let me just give you some figures. When I first launched my t-shirt business, I did it for probably, 50 or $75. I purchased a Shopify storefront that was $29 a month, and you get a 14-day free trial. So I didn't even have to pay that $29 up front. I connected that store to a print on demand printer. At the time, I was using the Printful. That's free. I connected that store to an email autoresponder. At the time, I was using MailChimp. You know what that is? Free 99. I also signed up for a merchant account, one with Stripe as well as PayPal. Same thing, free 99. The designs that I used, again, going back to point number two, I was able to, purchase some from like a creative marketplace like Behance, and it may have only cost me, 15, $20. And to advertise, to get that shirt in front of a specific audience, I literally was spending $5 a day running Facebook ads. So if you count and calculate all of that up in your head, the only real expense that you have is for the Shopify store. Like I said, you get a 14-day free trial, so you don't even have to spend any money initially. And the only time that the money really becomes, an issue is when you're scaling. But the beauty with this model and this business is that it really has almost, no risk because you're not even producing the t-shirts until it's paid for by the customer. So again, if you are, on a limited budget and you don't have, deep pockets, don't allow that to be a deterrent. Okay. You still can get started on a very, very low budget. And the fifth and final point is that the most important part is you got to have the right mindset. And this actually should be point number one because I think people fail to have the proper mindset when they get into, starting a business, right? So, in my opinion, I believe that this is the biggest differentiator when it comes to, those who are successful versus those who are unsuccessful. People, they spend so much time coming up with all kinds of excuses as to why something, won't work or can't work instead of taking that energy and putting it toward action. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely know the feeling. When it comes to getting something done, there's so many different distractions. And especially when you're not comfortable with something. So, mentally, there's all of these roadblocks and there's all of these obstacles because naturally it's not something that you want to do. It doesn't come natural to you. It's not an extension. But I'll say it thousands of times over. Sometimes you do need to, spend time working on your mindset, working on your belief system, having faith and confidence in your own ability to accomplish something. And so I always like to say that action builds momentum. When you take that first step, it builds the momentum and it makes you want to keep going. And when you're building the momentum and you're taking action, you're bound to see some result, good or bad. So the first thing, the most important part is just make sure that you take the action, and that helps you to put your mindset in a proper place. So again, we'll just do a brief recap. 5 reasons why you should start now. Don't allow, fear or, a poor mindset to hold you back. You don't have to have experience. You don't need to have like graphic design skills. You don't need to be 100% original. You don't even need tons of money. Now, if you are someone who feels like, you're tired of this rat race, you're tired of, working for someone else and, being underpaid or having to, constantly rob Peter to pay Paul, or, you just want to be able to spend more time with your family, because you're constantly on the grind, working a job, or, you like your job, but you're tired of dealing with the, office politics, that stuff can, just be so messy. Whatever the reason is, I would encourage you to start looking at this as a viable option to generate a side hustle or to replace your 9 to 5. It totally, can be a life changing situation. It was for me. It was the introduction that I had into this online world, and it has enabled me to quit my job, replace more than replace my 9 to 5, and also be in a position to help others to accomplish that goal as well. So I hope that you enjoyed, this information. If you want me to continue, sharing content very similar to this, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, please put them, below in the comments so that I can answer them, and also provide more training and more content around your questions. So that's all I have for now. Until the next time, see you later.